to something else, but whether maybe way forward, what's the way forward?
I think the way forward is let parliamentarians, and especially the court side, allow the process to go on without casting aspersions. And if there are genuine mistakes, those mistakes can be addressed along the way. Otherwise, the problem they are seeing, they created it. They allowed no scrutiny, no debate. Baba was heavy on people. He chose the wrong people to negotiate for him, and they made a mistake. Let them live by it. But I don't think that Jubilee wants to rig anything. It's still very far.
But the issue of perception still remains.
Yes,
and given that this is a very sensitive process,
yes.
And just like Honorable and I said, it's a matter of life and death. Yes. That perception really
I
needs
would
to be
appeal
managed.
to my classmate Isaac and the team outgoing. Please do not do fundamental things that will give a bad image to IEBC. My brother Chiloba, you are managing something very critical. Watch your words and wait. As long as this process is late, the same parliamentarians will be told, we cannot meet these deadlines. Give us the solutions. All of you, the opposition, the parliament, and all of us. Don't act like the country is on your head in such a way that we will ban. Procuring this, the ballot papers, the ballot boxes, the BVR kit are so fundamental that if you do it now, I see court jumping up in the air and even saying, we are not going for election. For fear of being defeated, they will have a legitimate reason to opt out, which is not good for this country.
All right, let's move on to something else, and let's look at corruption and the fact that it's rearing its ugly head yet again. And maybe I'll come to you, Senator Omar Hassan. And this is in the coastal region. We have now another report that says billions may have been lost in the Kilifi County. And according to the Deputy President, there doesn't seem to be much energy and vim, vigor, and vitality from the opposition castigating that particular incident, whereas there's a lot of energy when it's the government. Your comments on that?
You know, first and foremost, I think we've said it. I've said it in this forum. Senator Alwale said it in many forums, and other senators, that corruption is wrong, whoever commits it. Well, if it is wrong for Jubilee to engage in corruption, it is wrong for court governors to engage in corruption, because that's the executive authority that we have. But what happens is we need to. Corruption for me in Kenya is much a political issue as it is a legal issue. So therefore, corruption must be fought from a point of politics, and it must be fought from a point of the legal infrastructure. So there is a way in which we must have a very genuine debate politically about how to tackle corruption and give the necessary political will and to demonstrate a zero tolerance corruption agenda across the board.
Okay.
So for me, I'm in total concurrence that if there was corruption in Kilifi County, it deserves the same scrutiny and same spotlight like any other corruption by any other functionary that is a Jubilee functionary. Secondly, there's this thing I overheard some of my colleagues talking about, that William Ruto has no moral authority to talk about corruption. If I'm a drunkard, it does not mean I cannot urge people not to drink. So therefore, the truth is, it is totally out of line for anybody to believe that any political leader cannot respond to any matter of corruption, but only to hope that as they're making that response, either they're lying or they're genuine, that then they will now deal with that corruption in Kilifi County as much as it is a political issue and a legal issue, and deal without the corruption in the Jubilee government. You know, there's a time in which I remember there was somebody who when we were in KNCHR, one of the police officers who was known of a certain notoriety started talking about extrajudicial killings, and there was a lot of perception that he was right in the center of it.
Okay.
So we took him into our platforms to try and have a police officer speak against extrajudicial killings. Probably it could reduce.
All right, I'll ask you to hold that thought, and we're coming back. What we're talking about here is corruption generally, and of course, the fact that the Deputy President came out to say that, according to him, in the opposition, there's not as much energy when corrupt leaders are found or suspected in the opposition. We'll take a short break. We'll be